Welcome everyone to today's live stream, episode 17 of our Baldur's Gate 3 Barbarian gameplay series. I'm Commander Jorval and I want to thank you for coming along on our journey today. So starting out with an admin note, if you're here today, welcome to the, I'm not going to say new time slot, this is the standard time slot for my live streams, which is Sunday at 2 p.m. 5 p.m. Central Standard Time here in the United States. We had changed it because of the NFL season, where the NFL games are played on Sundays, and that just put a crimp in my streaming schedule. So, as it is every year during the NFL season, we will be shifting that to Saturday. But welcome to our standard time. So glad to see you're here, and you can set your reminders for this time. From week to week going forward. So, on our second note, this is going to be the last episode in our Barbarian gameplay series. We have reached a point where we only have a couple of things left to do in the early access, and then we'll be finished. So after today, I will be taking requests for what you would like to see in the next gameplay series. I am leaning towards something, but I am always willing to take your input on the next character type you would like to see me do a playthrough. We are going to switch to patch 9, so we're going to have access to all of the character classes so far in early access that's currently out, and we're also going to have access to level 5, which we didn't have access obviously here in the patch 8 playthrough. But leave me a comment or send me a chat message here during the live stream, and we can discuss it and see what we come up with for next week for starting a brand new gameplay series here on the channel. So on a recap, last week was frustrating, and I apologize. I don't normally get that frustrated, especially with video games, but when you're expecting something to happen and it doesn't, and you don't know why, it can get a bit frustrating. So I try and vary my playthroughs a little bit each time. Try different dialogue options, try different things to change up how things go, so I, and you by extension, can see different ways to play through the game. As part of that, I had never not picked up the smoke powder vials from Philomene. This time I chose not to take anything from her, so she grabbed the smoke powder vials and left. So I did not have one to play through, and the smoke powder satchels and the smoke powder bombs work much differently than those vials do. And one of those things I have now learned, and I went back off stream, and that's why you can see the date down here is not last week. I went through after the live stream and reloaded a save, got us back to that point. Then I played through the beginning of the Nere encounter several different ways to find out what was causing it, what was happening, and I've figured it out now, and we're going to start out going through that and explain the differences. So if you end up making the same dialogue choices that I did, and you don't have the smoke powder vials with you from Philomene, you can still complete this with a fair amount of reliability and repeatability here in the play. That's what we're going to do here starting off when we jump right in. So hopefully we'll be less frustrated today, but I do have a save here, so if it goes wrong as we're talking through it, we can just reload it, start it again. So here's where we are. The gnomes are digging at the cave in here. We have a smoke powder satchel that we picked up from the smoke powder reserve on us. And like I say, this works a little differently in that not only does this deal force damage and do an explosion, it also creates fire in an area. Now, the problem with that is that inside of this cave-in, Nere and a couple of other gnomes are trapped inside. If either Nere or either one of those gnomes take any damage before the conversation with Nere starts, everyone out here is going to go hostile. And if you have a flame surface on the ground, if one of them wants to walk through that flame surface, they just will, because it's scripted for them to walk out of there. They're going to walk across the fire surface, they're going to take damage, and you're going to have a problem on your... With the smoke powder vials, it doesn't create a flame surface. It just does an explosion, which opens this up, and they walk through it without any chance of that happening. But after playing this, I think I've come up with a way to eliminate or either minimize how you do this. So the first thing is to drop this on the ground. Don't throw it. Drop it. Everybody will move out of your way, and you'll be able to find it on the ground, and then you can pick it up. And you can move it over here to this corner. Okay? Now you can go back, and you can use any fire to ignite it. So I moved it over there, and you can see my fire arrow is going to create an area. But the smoke powder charge is going to create a much bigger area. So let's ignite it and go from there.
What are you waiting for?
Okay, so you see it created a flame surface, a fire surface. Here comes Baldur. He takes damage. There you go. That's what happens. Okay? It's not even Nere taking damage. It's Baldur taking damage. So we're immediately going to reload that. And this worked every time that I tried it during the week. And now it's, you watch, it's probably just not going to work. But we're going to try something else here as well. So okay, so we're gonna walk up here. We're going to drop the smoke powder charge or satchel on the ground. We're going to move it. We'll just move it here for now. We will move it over here. And then we will head back. I've moved it even farther away this time. Okay, it still created the fire surface. Hopefully Baldur will kind of walk at an angle over here. He did. Okay. Now the flame's going to go out. And Nere will walk out after the flame surface is gone. Okay. Baldur should have waited for that same thing.
Finally. Worthless slaves. Your incompetence has been my ruin. Nere does not fail. You care for the weak, true soul. Most curious. The Absolute demands their slaughter. Yet, here you stand, in bold defiance. A test, yes, you must be. The Absolute bade you to try Nere's faith. Thryn, carve out his heart and serve it to the Rothe. If he indeed is a true soul, let the Absolute save him.
Okay. Here's the cue that we get to kind of split this group in half, so to speak. That is going to make this fight much, much easier. Especially like me if you're not playing patch 9 and you're capped at level 4.
Damn right it's time. You owe my crew a 10 days worth of coin, Nere, and the reckoning's come.
You bargained with this wretch. How vexing. Nere is not without mercy, true soul. The rat has given you a chance to earn my favor. Strike him down. Prove your faith.
Okay, so here's the ultimate choice that you have. We're gonna side with Brithvar here.
Heretics. Let Nere be your end.
Okay, and we rolled well on initiative. That was the goal in bringing Astarion out here, was so that he could get an initiative roll that helped out quite a bit. So we have a lot of people that are active, so even more than I expected, but we've got 3 that are not, including level 5s. So that's good for us. It gives us a way out, so to speak. And in doing this, we're going to do our standard thing, which is to take back a high ground up here. But to do that, you can see if we move here, we're going to invoke an attack of opportunity. So we're going to have to do something like that. And click heals, remember, allows us to dash, and the enemies have disadvantage on attacks of opportunity against me. I could dash and disengage because I have 2 bonus actions, but instead of doing that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get off a vampire bite here, and then I'm going to click heals, and then he's got disadvantage on the roll. So let's go ahead and try that. We're going to get a vampire bite here on Dunall. Okay, and now we're going to click heals and see if we get him out of here. Critical miss. Okay, exactly what we wanted to see. So I want to move Astarion here. And now I'm going to move him up here. Trying to think how I want to play this. Astarion has crappy strength. So let's just move him up here to the top of the ladder. We are then going to use his action to take this shot down here. He's got the high ground, and you can see he's got pluses because of happy and high ground. So that's what we wanted. So I think it's time for me to start using some of these arrows here. So we're going to go ahead and use this arrow here and damage both. Actually, I can do a direct hit here and still damage both. Okay, so he failed his saving throw. The Mind Master here made theirs. And now I'm going to move myself back out of the way. Sorry, was clearing my throat off mic there. And now I can see about bringing some other people into the fray here. So let's... This is one of the gnomes. We don't care about them. So let's go ahead and... I think what we're going to do is bring our Barbarian up first. Make sure he's hidden. We don't want to be seen by this one on patrol down here, so we'll wait for them to come back, I think. Just so we can make... Well, no, she just left, so this should be okay. Nope, there they are. We do not want to be seen here by Mephits. So as soon as he leaves, we will move him up. Okay.
Never wanted the easy path.
And we're going to try our best to knock Drawer off the top here. Okay, if we do a shoving attack, it should knock him completely off. Okay. Knocked him off the top. He also took fall damage because of it. That puts Jorval into combat now. So now we can look at moving everybody kind of into place up here on top. And you can see where the detection cone goes, basically to the top of the stairs. So you want to keep everybody a ways back here if you can. So I'm going to move up the imp, and I'm just going to move the imp into a location over here where they can fly down onto the ground. And as part of that, just going to be using the imp as a distraction for Nere. Okay, so that puts him into combat.
Cloak and dagger, my favorite.
So Shadowheart here is going to do the same thing. So as soon as Mephits comes back, we'll move her up here to the very top. And we're not going to put her into combat yet. Just going to move her up here to the top. There's a reason for that. As soon as Mephits leaves here, I'll kind of explain it. Okay. If I move Shadowheart up here to the edge, and I do something like cast a spell or a guiding bolt at somebody down here, she's going to be sitting right on the edge throughout the rest of this turn. There are some very dangerous people down here with their ranged attacks, and they can almost one-shot Shadowheart. So I want to make sure that she kind of stays out of the way of that, so to speak. So I'm just going to move her over here for now and leave her not in combat, and then Wyll's going to move up.
Every step counts.
And it's going to be the same thing with Wyll. With the exception that I think I want to cast Cloud of Daggers up here. The iron ladder can't be damaged. So I think I'm just going to cast it here as close to this edge as I can. Okay. That still leaves me a gap here where I can run up to the edge, shoot, and then move back. And then Shadowheart, I'm going to put her into combat simply by casting Bless. Okay, so now everybody is in the fight.
Death's cold grip.
Now Astarion still has some movement left. So I am definitely going to move him kind of back here around the way. Now I do have the danger of falling off the edge here. That is certainly a danger. Or being pushed off the edge. And that could be really bad. So what happens up here, you really need to watch out what's going on. So I'm probably going to end up moving Wyll to a different location, maybe over here or something like that as we progress through this. But for now, Astarion's done. So we'll watch everything play out down below. That was awesome. Okay, looks like Thrin's coming up, so she walked through the cloud of daggers. And there goes Wyll. Okay, now Wyll didn't die. He got lucky. And that's what I mean by somebody who can one-shot you. Dalthar down here is just incredibly dangerous. Incredibly dangerous. Okay. So Wyll got knocked down here. Lost a bunch of hit points in doing it. Lost his concentration on Cloud of Daggers. But he has a way to get back up here without going out through here. So everything is not completely over for him, but we absolutely do need to get rid of Thrin here. So we're going to try our best to remove her from the fight, and we're going to do that first by hiding. Actually, I'm going to dash first, just because I always want him dashing. Going to hide.
Ready or not?
Okay, I'm going to get up right behind. And I'm going to do a sneak attack melee. Okay, so she has 11 hit points left. Okay, and Thrin here, so there's not going to be anybody else. Before she gets another attack. Well, the imp, but that's not going to matter. So I'm going to have to endure an attack from Thrin, and it might entail, Astarion getting pushed off. But we'll see what happens. That angle there might be enough that he just gets pushed back here and not off. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, so let's see what we can getting here. So far, we're keeping Nere, you know, pretty much out of the fight. So that's exactly what we wanted to do. So... Okay, so that was fairly uneventful. And now with Shadowheart, we have some options here. I'm just looking real quick, so... I think I'm going to wait for Wyll to come back up here to use Selûne's Dream. So... Sacred Flame has got a 60% chance to hit. Guiding Bolt has a 56% chance to hit just because the target's so close. Sorry, I'm just debating whether I want to cause some damage here or I want to heal, and I think I'm just going to heal. So we're just going to cast Healing Word on Astarion. Okay, might as well use my cantrip here. Okay, just caused a little bit of damage.
This is my time.
And now for Wyll. So I'm definitely going to Misty Step back up here. And I'm gonna wait for a second until moves away down there. Okay. So Misty Step up, and now I think I'm just going to use my Eldritch Blast here. Don't want to use a spell slot or the magic missile on such a low hit point. Enemy, so now we can remove Thryn from the action. Okay, now I'm gonna move Wyll right up against this thing for now.
Sometimes the only way out is through.
Okay, and Shadowheart's out of actions, right? Yeah.
Blood comes easy
Okay.
these days.
So now I'm going to keep the high ground here. I'm not going to relinquish the high ground. So let's see who we can hit from up here. So we really want to take out Baldur. So not going to use lightning charges yet because I don't need to. So a 56% chance to hit. Or he's frightened. I think I am going to try and hit Baldur again here. So let's go with a piercing shot. Okay, critical miss. So now I can move him back out of the way. And I'm saving his frenzy. Okay, so Astarion's turn. From here, I'm definitely going to hide.
Leave no trace.
Gonna move him up to the edge. We do have a couple of people that we can sneak attack range on. Okay, we have disadvantage, and that must be because they're obscured. Oh, it's outside normal range? Come on. Nere is not, though. So let's start causing some damage to... Ooh! Couple of crits. That was nice. So now we're going to move Astarion back out of the way. And he can go back into hiding. If anybody comes up here, it's going to pop him out of hiding maybe, but that would save him a bonus action next turn. Okay. So we'll just go ahead and again try and get a sting here. Crit. Nice.
Heretic! You should never have come.
Okay, so Wyll's turn. So from here, I think we can almost take Nere out of the fight. Five meters is a little more than half. But that's fine. Move him up and we will cast Magic Missile on Nere. So he's got 2 hit points left. And now again, we're going to move him back out of the way. We're actually, before we move him, so we're going to change to Shadowheart. Your janky camera movement there. So her bless disappeared. She must have lost her concentration. So we're just going to get her out of the way, I think. So we're just going to move her over here. And then we're going to take Wyll and we're going to move Wyll back into this corner. That way he cannot be pushed off and nobody here is going to be able to be pushed off. Maybe Astarion with an angle here, but that saves us quite a bit. I was going to have Shadowheart cast or use Selûne's Dream, but I don't have that option now, so I'm going to go ahead and cast Bless again. And then just Healing Word to get Wyll back up a little bit.
I'm holding back.
Wyll just has a bonus action left, so I'm going to end his turn.
Where do I go from here?
Okay, and now my Barbarian. So again, we're gonna dash to get lightning charges up here. Okay. I think I'm going to head down here now. So we're going to head down to the bottom of the ladder. And we're going to jump using our free action here. Okay. I jumped way away from any of the gnomes. It wasn't even close. Didn't cause any damage to that gnome at all. And it still turned all of them hostile. Just dumb. Just dumb. Okay. And now I'm gonna frenzy. And end my turn. Nice. That was one of the main damage dealers on their end, so getting rid of them is always a good thing. So we're still hidden, so we're going to come up here to the edge again. Try and get a sneak attack ranged on Nere again, and this is going to end this fight. 2 crits on Nere. Impressive. Okay, and now I'm going to move him back just around the corner here. And we can go into hiding again.
Just like old times.
Okay, so the gnomes went passive again. Good. Well, it looks like they're allied, anyway, is what it shows. They went from red to yellow. So, let's fly the imp over here. See if we can get a sting here on the last remaining hostile. Okay. So Wyll can come right up to the edge here. And use Ray of Sickness. And now he can move back away from the edge.
Ready.
Okay, so Shadowheart. I don't want you to be looting. I want you to use the Luna's Dream on Wyll. Okay, so we did fall asleep. And we're going to cast Healing Word on Wyll. And that's going to end her turn.
Time to push my luck again.
And now my Barbarian's down here with Bless, Lightning Charges, and weapon charges, or the +1 weapons. So we're going to go with a Reckless attack to start for an 80% chance to hit. And that ends that. Okay, so the gnomes are again still hostile. I don't want them to be. I don't want to kill these gnomes. I'm going to actually bargain for their freedom. But it looks like because of that stupid, horrifically high, what is that? 5-meter range on that thunder jump that didn't even cause any damage. They all went hostile. So we'll see how this plays out. I'm actually going to end my turn here rather than killing them and see if they reset with this turn. Look at all the status effects that we have over here. It's great. So let's end this and see what happens. Alright. Looks like I am gonna have to fight this. I didn't want to, but it looks like I'm gonna have to. So we will move Astarion up here. He's still hidden. We're gonna take one bonus action to see if I can shove him, and I can. Not a great shoving location. So instead, let's just do a melee sneak attack here. Okay. So we will put him back into hiding up here.
I'll do it my way.
Yeah, we'll put him back into hiding, just kind of move him back into here. Okay, so the imp. And again, I didn't want to do this. I was going to try and bargain for their release. But doesn't look like I have a choice now. So we are definitely going to get Shadowheart away from the edge here. And we're going to do that just by moving her up over here.
Another fight. Let's go.
And now the Barbarian is going to have all sorts of attack opportunities. So a Frenzied Strike on Lunkberg for 60. How about we start off with a Reckless attack here. And a Frenzied Strike. Okay, now you start to see the power that the Barbarian has. And it looks like we're down to just one left, and that's him over here. So we'll move this way. Okay, so Astarion's not going to be able to hit from up there. So I'm just going to skip everybody, go right to my Barbarian. And end things here. Oh, there's one more. Where's she at? Oh, she's way over here. Okay, so Astarion will be able to hit her from up here. I think she's too far for a sneak attack. Yeah, we'll just get a regular attack. Okay, move him back. Put him into hiding.
They won't know what bit them.
The imp should be able to fly over here. Try a sting.
Battle favors the fearless.
And now Wyll can move up and see if he is within range to get an Eldritch Blast. Okay. That's done.
No time to rest.
Alright, so
What is it? Silent.
going to move everybody down here.
Defender of the people. Shindilrin's shithouse. You see it? Cockstench had a regular in his skull. All the more reason to clear out. Here's your cut. Extra too, like I promised. Clan, grab your gear, wipe your asses. Time I scrammed before more pricks from Moonrise Towers move in.
Sorry, Reinmar, you came in right while I was in the middle of that fight, so I was concentrating on it. But yes, I played Rome Total War when it first came out a long time ago. Haven't played many of the Total War games after that, Warhammer and that sort of stuff. But yeah, I was heavily into Rome Total War. That was one of the first games that I played when I was deployed overseas. I had that on my laptop, on my very first laptop that I had bought for that deployment. So yeah, played that quite a bit. I don't know if it'll make an appearance here or not. I have been very interested in the XCOM games and that sort of stuff, so there might be a chance for something like XCOM to show up here. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yes, I am very much into those. So I was. I don't go too much into my personal life, but I was in the military here in the United States. So I was deployed overseas in a couple of different combat zones. So during that time, you have a lot of work that you have to do, but you also have quite a bit of downtime. So during that downtime, you do a lot of different things to keep yourself occupied and keep from going stir crazy, because it's not like you can just hop out and go for a burger with friends or something like that. So yeah, had a lot of time, and Rome Total War really kept me occupied during those times. So, you know, I have heard of the Jagged Alliance games. I've been playing video games for a really long time, so 1999 is nothing nothing new to me. So I have heard of those games. I have not played them though, but yeah, I might give them a chance. You know, give them a try, and see what they're like. Cool. Let me get through this time here. This isn't going to be nearly as interesting because I'm not going to be bargaining for the release of the gnomes, since unfortunately had to kill them because they weren't going to become non-hostile. But let's finish this up here real quick.
Your brain going mushy, Shark. That's where those absolute freaks hole up. Goblins, drow, gnolls, even humans. Ain't no one they won't try to turn. The way I hear tell, some prick there calls the shots. The General, Nere called him. And there ain't no way I'm sticking around long enough to meet him. Please, we catch your scent. You'll get sliced before you can butt your left eye. Now lug your ass someplace else. I got to get cracking.
Okay, so everybody's down here. So we're going to group everybody back up and
Can't slow down.
make our way back out here, and we do have some looting that we can take care of, and we're going to start with Nere. So Nere has a couple of really cool things. The first is the Broken Moon Lantern. Now remember, when we first tried to enter through that doorway, the two Dwergar up there said that we needed a moon lantern to help us make our way through that area, and without it, we were going to have some problems. So this is where you get that moon lantern. It's a quest item, something that you have to progress. So I think that's kind of your gateway, so to speak, to getting out of this area. Standard dagger +1. We don't need. We have better than that right now on Astarion. So we'll just give it to Wyll. And then you have the Sword of Screams. Now, the Sword of Screams is very interesting. First, it's a rapier, which is a finesse weapon, but it's not a light weapon. So you can't wield it offhand. But it has the weeping condition with it, and that is, it basically deals an additional 1d4 psychic damage. Okay, so the Sword of Screams, what we're going to do with it is send it to Astarion real quick, and we'll take a look at it here in a second. So last is the Disintegrating Nightwalkers. These are basically a catch-all boot that does everything. Now you remember, I'm going to send these to Astarion as well.
An object catches your eye. A lantern, it seems, though no light flickers within.
Okay, and there's a, looks like it must be another waiting cinematic.
A thick layer of dust coats the bottom of the lantern.
Broken. So much for protection from the shadow curse.
Okay, so we do have a couple of checks here. I'm not going to get any bonuses on them because it's my Barbarian who picked it up. Okay, Yeah, the 1D, and that's... I can explain that a little bit too, because the numbers are also different depending upon which character you have selected.
Used to illuminate a lamp, or left behind after a pixie's death.
Okay, so you found out that there's pixie dust in the bottom of the lamp, so we can do an investigation here. And a big failure.
Nothing about the lantern strikes you as unusual.
Okay, so what I meant by that is if you just go into the inventory tab here, you can see that Jorval is the one that's selected. So if I put my mouse over the Sword of Screams, 1d8 plus 13 piercing damage for a total of 15 to 25. That is what Jorval would be doing if he was the one wielding it. Okay. Now if I move to Astarion as the main character, or the active character, and now I put my mouse over it, you can see those numbers have changed. And this is what Astarion would do with the weapon if he's wielding it. So it's always important if you're going to see, if you want to see the actual damage numbers of what it's going to do, make sure that you have that character active. Because even if I roll over, for instance, Jorval's now highlighted, and I highlight over the hammer raft, it's 2d6 plus 13. Okay, but if I look at something that somebody else has equipped, like the short sword of the First Blood, it's 1d6 plus 13. Well, that's, even though Astarion's equipped it, he's not doing that much damage. That is still how much damage Jorval would be doing if he equipped it. So it can get even a little more confusing. I agree with you. I wish that that would be changed, that if it's in an inventory. Yes, that's what happens here. For instance, let's look at Astarion and the Sword of Screams here. The Sword of Screams does not have any bonuses on it, meaning it is not a +1 weapon or a +2 weapon or anything like that. The Steel Forged Sword, you can see, has a +1 weapon enchantment. So if you look at that, it says 1d6 plus 1. That +1 is added on to the base damage of 1d6 that a short sword does. Every different weapon type, simple or martial, has a base damage. And that base damage is here, also indicated by a 6-sided die here. Okay? Because it's a +1 weapon, it gets a +1 bonus to attack rolls and deals +1 bonus damage. So it has a +1 modifier on it there. So if we look at the Sword of Screams, however, this is getting a bonus because it's a finesse weapon. Finesse weapons, and you can hover over it and hover over the tooltip. It scales with your dexterity instead of your strength, if your dexterity is higher. So, in this case, on Astarion, if I look at his character sheet, his dexterity is 18, so he's getting a +4 to... Why did it change, janky? So he's getting a +4 to his weapon bonuses using a finesse weapon. So that's where that +4 comes from. And then you get a +1d4 psychic damage, which is this 4-sided die here in the background, because of the weeping condition that applies to whoever you hit. So that's kind of how you look at it, is that the conditional or bonus damages never get a bonus due to your skills. So they're just a flat number. See 1d8 on the short sword of the First Blood, 1d4 here. So there's no bonuses applied, but you get a bonus applied based upon what type of weapon it is. whether it's finesse and uses your dexterity, or it's not finesse and uses your strength. So that's why when you look at my Barbarian, he gets some pretty hefty bonuses. That's a plus 13 bonus there to it. It doesn't get a plus 13 bonus from the weapon. That is due to all the other possible weapon bonuses that I could add on because of him being a barbarian. So you roll 2d6s. So a 6-sided die, you roll it twice, and you add on a possible 13, depending upon, you know, what things I have active as far as my barbarian skills, though. But this is a heavy weapon and a maul, which means it is based entirely around strength. And when you look at my barbarian strength, I'm getting a plus 3 just from that. So that's where plus 3 comes from, out of that 13. And then the other 10, don't forget, I have the... I was waiting for it here. I have the... Boy, that's really janky. They need to work on that. I have the Great Weapon Master feat, which gives me a plus 10 bonus to my damage if I hit. So that's where the 13 comes from on mine. I'm getting a plus 10 from Great Weapon Master, and I'm getting a plus 3 damage bonus because of my strength. Does that kind of make sense? Yeah. Yeah, it's really important to first just make sure you have the correct character selected, and then that you're using the correct type of weapon based upon the class of character you have. Rogues and thieves are always going to have higher dexterity, so you want to be using finesse weapons, which you can see both of these are finesse. A light weapon means that you're able to dual wield it. So that's why both of these have to be light for me to be able to dual wield them like this. So if you hover your mouse over those things, it will tell you. Okay? Because it's light, it can be dual wielded. So if I wanted to use the Sword of Screams, this is a rapier. It's a finesse weapon, so it's going to use my dexterity, but it's not a light weapon. And what that means is that when I put the rapier in my main hand, I can't put anything else in my offhand. Because it is not a light weapon, so it can't be dual wielded. Now, I have 1d6 from the Steelforged sword. I have 1d6 from the short sword of the First Blood, plus another 1d8 if I'm attacking somebody who is at full health. And I dual wield these, which means I take full damage from here and half damage from the one in my offhand when I dual wield it. So I'm getting 1d6 plus 4 plus a 1d3 basically, plus 1. So that's a total max or a min of 3 to 13, whereas here I can get a 6 to 16. So overall, using the Sword of Screams is better than using them both, except on the first strike. If I'm attacking somebody that has all their hit points, I'm going to get 6 to 18 just with the short sword of First Blood compared to 6 to 16. So I'm going to lose some possible damage on targets that are at full health, but I'm going to gain damage on everybody else. Okay? So that's kind of how it plays out here as far as the numbers go. So I'm going to change to leave the rapier there on Astarion. But if Wyll was a combat based character that I was originally planning him to be, he also has proficiency with rapiers. So it would be a good weapon for him to use as well. going back and looking at the inventory, we did pick up a couple other things, and that the disintegrating nightwalkers are here, that you can't be enwebbed, entangled, ensnared, and you can't slip on grease or ice. Remember when we had the spider step boots? Those give us immunity from being enwebbed. This is just a straight upgrade over those, plus it allows you to use the Misty Step spell, which means that we would have access to Misty Step without having to use a spell slot for it. We would have to give up the... I'm looking at Wyll over here. Because Wyll has Misty Step already. Oh no, we swapped him out. So having these boots on Astarion would give him the ability to use Misty Step. However, it would get rid of the click heals action, which we just used in this fight, which basically lets you dash and gives somebody disadvantage on opportunity attacks. So it's a bit of a trade-off here in doing this. But I think, and that's probably a good call, I think I'm going to put these on Wyll instead. That gives him access to the Misty Step spell without having to use the amulet of Misty Step. And it's got guidance. Not going to change that out. And then Selûne's Dream is very situational, so the amulet of Misty Step I could actually move over here. And that gives Shadowheart the ability to use Misty Step as well. So now I've got Misty Step free as an action on a couple of different characters here. So, and these two I'm definitely going to keep. Just going to send to camp. Again, in the full game, you'll definitely want that as well. Keep those. So we finished this encounter down here. We do have some other stuff that we can loot here. So let's just go look around. Everything is still marked steel as far as the containers go. But we can pick up some other stuff, and we will go sell these items off real quick here in a second. And then we'll progress on. Nobody over here that we want to look at. Okay, potion of healing, fine. We do have a Great Club +1. I don't use Great Clubs, so we'll end up selling it. And some camp supplies. And one more to loot here. And just some more stuff to sell. Okay. Now we do have something else here, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to split the party for this. Because you can make your way over here. Okay. So, I'm not going to interact with the defaced statue. I'm going to make my way over here and just jump across. The skeleton is marked as steel. Okay. Sorry, just moving my camera around and looking at the various different areas here. Okay, nothing over there. Nothing around this corner. Doesn't look like there's anything around the back. Okay. So I don't have to, because that skeleton is still marked as steel. I'm not going to go upset anybody during this. So I'm going to group everybody up. Where did Astarion go?
Hello, you.
Oh, he's still in hiding. Don't know why.
Go. Looking ahead.
Okay, so we'll group back up. We're going to head back down this way.
Don't waste a step.
And go sell our items off real quick. Then we are probably going to take a long rest.
What's next?
We have any short rests left? We do. I think we'll just take our short rest.
Let's get going.
I've got enough spells here. I'm out of first level spells, but all my second levels here are okay. So I think we'll be okay for our next encounter, and we're not going that way. We're going this way.
Dumb theory. Half these walls are still standing.
The true soul. The battle. Too many distractions. There is still truth to uncover. Well, let's see what you've got.
Okay, so his gold is replenished again, which is good. Again, I'm going to get rid of the adamantine slag just because I don't want to carry it. Don't need this heavy crossbow. So start with Wyll and get him selling off all of these weapons and additional things that we picked up, like the great club we don't need, the dagger we don't need, the hand axe. None of these things we need. The light crossbow +1 we don't need anymore. And none of the Maragon halberds we need, but you can see that they are worth a heck of a lot of gold. Okay, so there's something that you keep that you want to sell later. He's now completely out of gold. He doesn't have anything that we want to purchase. So let's make sure Astarion has enough thieves' tools and disarm kits. He does. Okay, so we're going to end things
That's all then.
with that. And now we're going to make our way back. So if you look at our map, this is a continuation on that we can't do. This is something outside of early access. But what we need to do is get ourselves back up here onto this top area that we were, that you might be able to
Where's the statue, you think?
see a little bit. No, it's too high. You can't see it. It's up above all of this. But when we were up here, just kind of up here, walking through the middle of all of this, above all of this, to get to the actual forge area. And to do that, we're going to continue on this way and work our way back into that area.
Light on my feet.
And this is because we did not open up the waypoint up there. We wanted to save that. Till we got to here, so didn't want to do any spoilers. Okay, because this is where we're going again, is right here. Okay, now again, remember, we do have some traps that are not disarmed. So we're going to have to split the group here and take everybody one by one to get across this.
Things feel different. Moving.
No.
Let's try this way.
Okay. The goats. You mean the big, the Rothe? Don't know. I might be too far out of character range to get back to them. But they're right down here. The Rothe, yeah, these here. Yes, you can talk to them. We talked to them during the last live stream. You can cast Speak with Animals and talk to them. But yeah, they are Rothe is an actual animal out of the D&D handbook. But yeah, in this case, these two are not hostile. They're marked with yellow icons. We actually got into a fight with a couple of them when we went through this area here. So you can see there's 2 of them that are dead in here because we failed a persuasion check down here.
I'm ready.
But yeah, most of the time, animals, cows, chickens, all the normal type animals like that are going to be non-hostile upon encountering them. Unless there's something really specific or strange going on
Still breathing.
with the animal itself.
Everything.
Oh. Okay, so we're going to group everybody back up here. And we're going to get everybody hopefully jumped onto this thing. Actually, I'm going to split everybody up. I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to have the game bug out again and jump me off the cliff. Okay, so we're going to move our way back down here.
Now. Hello again.
Whoops. Didn't mean to jump. I wanted to jump onto here. You can make your way over here and just jump down.
I wonder what
Yeah, the pathing on this game leaves something to be desired. And having my characters jump off this bridge into the void was not fun last stream, so part of the thing that led into my extraordinary frustration last stream.
Can't give up now.
Okay, so now we can group everybody back up, and we're going to make our way down this way.
Anything to that absolute talk, you think?
Okay, there's a skeleton that we can search up here. Yeah, unfortunately I recall too. It was not a fun time.
Look up there, would you?
Okay, so now you can see we're right above where we just had the fight with Nere. There's Nere's corpse. We have another bridge here that we need to activate, and to do that, we can again look at these levers over here. So I'm going to shoot this first lever. That's going to raise this bridge up. And now I can jump onto it. Okay, so everybody made it up here just fine. And now I can shoot the second lever. Which moves the bridge over here. And now I don't know if I can reach that second lever. I can. Okay, so yeah, it's too low. Oh, this is interesting.
Trust no one.
Okay, Astarion can just barely get it. Okay, so we have to jump down off of this, so I'm going to split the group again
Still alive.
when I do this. And I'm going to jump everybody down here. I'll take Wyll next. And you might take some damage jumping down here. Yeah, some small amounts of damage.
What am I to do?
You're jumping from a height. That's why I wanted to check and see if
Sharp as ever.
if I could lower the bridge any, but oh, didn't change to Astarion. I was like, why can't he reach? Okay.
right.
So now everybody's down here, and I want to group hide.
Don't want to draw any attention. Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Because now you can see that we have some detection cones that are showing up. Okay? So we have some animated armors that are here up on this area. And we can do a quick scan around here, and you see there's the rune circle that I want to make sure that I activate. That's going to be my quick teleport to and from this area. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and now jump down here. Get the party moving down in this direction. And Wyll almost jumped into the lava there. Okay, and now we've unlocked this rune circle here. Okay, so now we can continue kind of exploring around here. Very carefully, moving slow bits at a time. And paying special attention to what's in front of you, what's around you, and looking for all sorts of other areas that you can possibly get to because you see stuff like this. Okay, so I'm going to split the group again, just because I don't want everybody coming down here. And I'm going to pick up the splint mold. Okay. Nothing else down here. Nothing else that you can jump to or anything else like that. So just come back up. We have a skeleton that we can search. Take the malachite for Wyll. Because what we are going to do is head back to the Myconid Grove or the Myconid Colony, because we did have a quest. We do have a quest now that we want to turn in. Okay, so we have a chest here. Move up close to it before you open it. See if it's trapped. It's not. Okay. And we can sell off all these items when we get there. So. Alright. Some more books here. Nothing holding alt. You can see there's a forge construction log here, so you can interact with this book. And this tells you a little bit about the functioning of the forge itself. So, the hammer can work with different alloys, but at the start it wasn't fully working, so they couldn't test adamantine. But you can see that magma is used to forge adamantine. So that's what it gives you a clue as to how to operate the forge if you're not reading any of the guides or anything like that on how they work, on how it's supposed to be used. So there are ways in this game where you can, progress without just following a guide that lets you know here's exactly how to do it. But it does let you know that you need to have magma available to be able to utilize the forge.
Forge your blade in the fires and raise it in the mistress's name.
Yeah, no, I mean, I completely get it. Especially for someone who might not have experience with tabletop D&D. I played tabletop a lot when I was a kid. So for me, Baldur's Gate 2 was fairly easy, I guess, to grab a hold of. I was much more frustrated in Baldur's Gate 2 by all the things in 3rd edition D&D that were not in the game back when I played it. But having access to tabletop or having experience with tabletop is going to give you a big leg up on this. Like I had talked about earlier, Divinity Original Sin and things like that are kind of like a newcomer's introduction to what D&D might be, or kind of some of the basics of it. But it's much more akin to something like WoW or something like that. This Baldur's Gate series has always been the Wizards of the Coast sponsored, endorsed, and experience of D&D brought to a video game. So you're going to be beholden to those rules, so to speak, and they're a lot more complicated than just some of those other games. Yeah, I'm absolutely sure that the full access version of this game is going to be just as amazing as Baldur's Gate 2 was. Remember, we're also getting some old school characters back a little bit. We're getting access to, and if you haven't seen the trailer, I'm not going to spoil it, but some of at least 2 of the characters from Baldur's Gate 2 are going to be making a reappearance in Baldur's Gate 3. So it's going to be really interesting. So let's get ourselves ready for this fight here. So pardon me if I kind of focus on this a little bit, but you can see that we have an animated armor kind of hiding around the corner here. And then we have 1, 2, 3 more up here on top. So we definitely want to get our Barbarian, into the thick of things. But I don't want him to be... There's no way for me to move up and get a strike on any of them before he enters combat. What I want to do is kind of separate him out in a location that hopefully he's not going to get detected. So then I can move him in on a flanking run, so to speak, later on. And I'm going to move Astarion kind of just, I guess, back here, because I'm going to initiate the combat with him, as I normally do. And I'm going to move Shadowheart and Wyll back here kind of around the corner a little bit. What I want to do is I want to initiate with Astarion on one of them. I want to have them come down and make their way towards me here. And then I want to be able to bring my Barbarian and both of my spellcasters into this fight after they've already progressed down here somewhere. So that's kind of the goal here. And as part of that, I will probably move
There is work to do.
Shadowheart and Wyll down just a little bit farther. Get them more out of the way.
Quietly now.
And as usual, we will kick this off with Astarion here. So all of these characters are intentionally hidden back kind of out of the way, but I may be able to get up here close enough to get a shot on this animated armor here, and it looks like I can. So I want to kind of move myself up here, though. Okay, so I've got a 45% chance to hit from there. Target is outside normal range there. Okay, target's obscured. So I'm not going to be able to get a sneak attack here because I'm going to have disadvantage. But I can get a regular attack here. And try and move myself Now that I don't have to try and get that close. The same percentage no matter where I'm at. So target's too far there. Target's too far there. Target's still too far. Okay. So there we can take a 45% chance. Okay. So we did get our advantage, which is exactly what we wanted. So I'm going to dash. Oh, the enemy's surprised. So yes, they are surprised. So I don't need to dash. But this one would get an attack before Astarion went again. So I am gonna take this attack and then I'm gonna dash out of the way. And kind of a weird spot to be able to. Seems only a 25% chance to hit. Okay, a miss, but that wasn't unexpected. Now we're gonna dash Astarion way out here. Far back as he can get, because I want them all to move down off of this platform and out from around the corner and make their way out here and eventually down to here. So we're going to kind of hit and run tactic for a little bit here. Yes, Rymar, that is. Yes, it's Minsk and Boo who are going to be there. Like I said, I didn't want to give a spoiler out if you hadn't seen it, but yes, Minsk and Boo are. I'm really excited about seeing them make an appearance. That's amazing. So so I'm going to dash again. I'm going to move up just far enough to get him into normal range to maximize the percentage on this shot. Okay, still a miss, not a big deal. So now I'm going to again move him back out of the way. Now, they should all start moving down off of this platform, I would think. This is exactly what I wanted them to do. They were in a very, very advantageous position with the high ground up there and being hidden. And now this kind of puts them on flat, open ground, which is exactly what I want. And see, they moved right past me without triggering any, you know, my other characters are no longer in, you know, are still not in the fight, which is exactly what I want. But I want this group to move up as well. So, last thing I'm going to do is move Astarion. I'm going to take his shot here. Again, 30%. Don't know as if I'll be able to increase that. No, still 30%. Okay. So I'm going to dash. And I'm going to get him into an area where there's no light. I'm going to leave him there. I don't want to put him into hiding because if I do, they're not going to be able to see him. So I'm going to end his turn and let everybody move up. This guy is going to move up farther. Everybody else is kind of moving up exactly where I want them to go. Okay. Alright, so now let's take the opportunity to get some people into this fight here. Alright. So...
best be on my way.
Move Jorval up, and I'm going to have him jump right into the middle of this. Okay. So that puts him right into combat.
Secrecy above all.
Now with Shadowheart. Going to move her back around the back of the action here. And I'm just going to get her to cast. Gonna wait until I get Wyll up here.
Quiet as a moonbeam.
Okay, and with Wyll, I'm just gonna cast Scorching Ray. Okay, so he's got disadvantage against everybody here. So he's still only a 50% chance to hit. Got a crit. So that removed one of them from the playing field. Okay. So now Shadowheart. See how big a range we have on Bless. Perfect. Okay, so that puts her into the fight now. And now Astarion is here, and I'm going to try and get him hidden.
Let's have a little fun.
Okay, he's outside of the detection range. Going to have him dash. But I am going to get off my action first with a 65% chance to hit here. Critical miss. Perfect. I'm going to try to move him around the corner up here a little bit. And end his turn. Now these two are going to get chances to attack me. Oh, he's going to dash. Going after Wyll. Wow. 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 just wow. Okay. That was an incredibly long shove attack. That shove attack from here is at 46.4 to 50. That was a 10-meter shove attack to get him to the edge. That's, okay. Well, interesting. Poor Wyll. Okay, so I need to get... I think he's still going to be inside the detection cone here. But we'll see if he can hide. Okay, so we can. So, target's still obscured. So... Okay. So I can get a sneak attack against this one. Alright, good. Got some damage in.
I'm ready.
Shadowheart's not going to be able to rescue Wyll. That's just not an option. Based on where he is all the way down there at the bottom of the map, there are other combat encounters down there which I'm not going to be able to get past to get him up. So we're just going to have to proceed without it. Okay, that ends that one.
Take your...
Survival is all that matters.
Okay, and then here I am going to Frenzy. And going to issue a Reckless attack here. And miss. Okay, and that was because he didn't have a dash. He doesn't have lightning charges. So it lowered his 2-hit chance down to 51%. Okay. So again, we're going to dash. Going to hide.
Subtle approach.
I should be able to get right up behind him. And execute a sneak attack melee. That ends that.
Dark Lady, help me strike.
So, Shadowheart. Not a whole lot she can do here. Okay. And now I am going to dash. Going to move a certain distance.
Boots have seen everything.
Then I'm going to jump in. And then I'm going to do a frenzied strike. That ends that. Okay, so actually I can try this. I don't think this is going to work.
Quiet as a mouse. No time to dally.
I'm looking at where he's at. Yeah, I can't revive him. He's just dead. So let's move everybody back up here. And we will take our long rest. And we will get Wyll back.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
It says he's downed, but I cannot resurrect him down there. So this is bad.
Whatever comes, I'm ready.
Because he's not downed. Down there. He's dead.
All's well that ends.
So let's do a couple of things in here first. Let's just pick up the mace mold.
For more?
Yes, I know it's going to encumber me. We've got all 5 of the molds. Okay. And we're not going to create the shield mold. Actually, you know, we might do that this time. So we are going to create the splint mold, and we'll do the shield mold with it. So the mace mold, I will send to camp. The longsword mold, I will send to camp. And the scimitar mold, I will send to camp. You'll want to keep them, but in the current version of the game, there's only enough adamantine to create two items. But
I'll give it a shot.
in the full version, there might be more adamantine. So I'm going to just head back to the Grymforge here and see if from here I can take a long run. No, I can't. It says that Wyll is downed, but he's not. He is dead. He's in lava down here. I cannot resurrect him. So I think the game might have glitched out on that. Because that's not an area that the game expects you to ever be able to get to. And it's showing him as downed, not dead. So, when was our last autosave? It was at the start of the game. So, I think we've probably got an issue here. The game, I don't think, was intending that it was possible to get one of your characters down there. So it's not killing him. Listing him as downed, it's not giving him any death saving throws for him to fail. So I don't think we're going to be able to get back there. We can I can load the last save. The last save is just way back at the start of the live stream.
With haste.
Because I'm horrible about saving. But let's see.
Mind my step.
I don't want to hide. Well, I will want to hide, but let's see if we can take... Yeah, because see, Shadowheart doesn't have any healing spells left. Yeah, she doesn't have any healing spells left that she can cast on it. So somebody would have to get physically down there. And that's just not possible.
Got to keep moving.
It is not possible to get down to where Wyll is. He's literally in the lava. So there's no way for me to get down there. I can get down to this area over here because he's actually above the Grymforge. I can get to the edge of the Grymforge here. I can get down there. But again, I'm not going to be able to heal him because I have no healing spells to be able to utilize. So there's no way to get him up. There's just no way to do it. Like I say, I think the game is just bugged in this respect. That it doesn't expect you to ever be able to get a character down there. So it doesn't know how to treat him now that he's down here. So I don't know as if we have any other option. I have Misty Step, but Misty Step, I mean, I could get down here, but again, to heal him, the only healing I have access to are potions. I don't have any healing spells left on Shadowheart, so I can't cast Healing Word to revive him and then hopefully let the lava kill him. So then I could go back to camp and revive him. All I have are healing potions, and I would have to physically get out next to Wyll to be able to use them, and I can't. Because of where he is, which is out here in the middle of this lava. I can get over here, but I can't get down here, and I certainly can't get out into the lava. That we don't have something like Mage Hand or something like that doesn't work in this game like it does in tabletop. Now that would be a great idea in tabletop. Mage Hand probably does not have the strength to pick up a body and move it. Something like Bigby's Hand or something like that in tabletop would definitely have the strength to be able to lift a body out of there and carry it up. And that would be something that your Dungeon Master would probably love to see you try. But I don't have any of those options here available in early access. And if you see, I'm down here, the body is down here. See, the body's there. But if even the only way to really do this, I think, is to heal him, to bring him up. Maybe I can... That might be something. Let's try and kill him.
Watch your back.
Now I know what's down here.
Into the shadows. Move unseen.
So I want to take this slow. Okay, so there's an autosave. A little late for that. Let's see if I can kill him.
And to think, people say size doesn't matter.
Okay, so there's his body.
Surprise.
Okay, so now it's downed him. Let's just... Okay, now he's dead. Okay. And now, let's group him back up. Hide again on the way up. I don't want to trigger this fight. Sure.
A long way to go still.
Yeah. Yeah, he is now living in the lava.
Darkness cloak me.
Okay. So let's get everybody out of hide. Let's get everybody grouped up. And now I'm going to take a long rest. Good deal. Okay. So yeah, it was just bugged out down there. It put him in an area where the game didn't expect a character would ever be able to get to. And because of that, it didn't know how to treat him. So now I am going to talk to Withers. Wherever Withers is.
On my way.
There he is.
Something's on my mind.
Yeah, Divinity and the sequel are not, like I say, 100% or not even largely based upon tabletop rules. So they probably did have some sort of local teleport spell, and once you get farther through tabletop, once you get to higher levels, there is a physical teleport spell that does the same thing. Level 4 characters, I'm certainly nowhere near that from a Magic user perspective. And I probably wouldn't have selected it in early access anyway. So I'm kind of restrained on what I can and can't do here in this particular game. So...
Well counted. I recommend keeping my distance for a moment.
So luckily I was able to just kill him, make him officially dead, and once the game registered him as dead, then I was able to take a long rest, and now I can resurrect him from camp, and I don't have to restart the stream. So there we go. Wyll's now back. Glad we were able to get that accomplished. I really didn't want to have to restart. So let's go get our
traps,
camp supplies out of here. Okay, so that's 9. So Lugat is 2nd edition, my favorite. 2nd edition as in tabletop rules? Or what? I don't know as if well, no, I did play 2nd edition tabletop rules back when I was in grade school. I played 3rd edition when I was in junior high. I've only played 5th edition tabletop for one campaign and don't have more experience than that with it. So and I think that's, I wasn't paying, I was answering a question, I wasn't paying attention. So 33, 39. Okay, so I can send this to camp and pick up 1. So we'll just take a Belladonna bundle here, and then that will get us to 40. Okay, so we'll get our full rest in. If any original sin even had the mini teleport pyramid so that you could kept one with you and the other somewhere else and then teleport freely between locations. Yeah, that would certainly be pretty nice. Kind of like a waypoint type thing. So yeah, unfortunately tabletop doesn't have anything like that, you know, as early as where I am in the game anyway. So let's continue on where we're going to finish looting these skeletons, and then we are going to sell off our items here. And once we've done that, we're going to get ready for the Grymforge. And we will finish up.
Maybe I need more pockets.
With the Grymforge. Okay, so we picked up another mold. Another skeleton we can search down here.
What's hiding here?
Okay, and another Dark Justiciar mail. We're already wearing one of those. Or Shadowheart's already wearing one of those anyway. Okay. So now we're gonna head back. We're gonna head all the way back to the Myconid colony. We are going to sell our items in here, but at the same time, we're also going to complete a quest. So let's talk to Blurg.
Welcome back. Have you made any new discoveries? I do enjoy a good bargain, if anything in my private collection is to your liking.
Okay, so we have the scale mail mold and the shield mold. We're not going to use the splint mold. But first, let's go ahead and get Wyll selling off as much of this stuff as he can. High weight items. Do the same thing for Shadowheart here. Okay, so the Dark Justiciar mail, she's already wearing a set of it. So she doesn't need 2. Astarion doesn't have anything that we need to sell off on him. As a memory shard we can sell, but it's really lightweight. He's going to run out of gold here pretty quick. So let's finish selling off as much as we can here. So the Dark Justiciar helm. Okay, so we're getting just about, so he's done, and now he's completely... Okay.
Very well. I have mushrooms to catalog.
We can head down, sell off the rest of our items down here real quick. And actually, we're not going to do that. Let's complete a quest first. So, here, this is the one that we... Oh, we couldn't retrieve Nere's head. Why not? Okay. So we did save the Grymforge gnomes by killing them. So why couldn't we get Nere's head? it completed that quest, so it says I can't do it. Wow, just one more in a long list of quests that have just gone badly. You're supposed to be able to physically retrieve his head and return it to Spa, and we'll see if this opened up. I think it did, but...
We'll be clearing out soon enough. No point in lingering now I've got the noble stock.
Let's sell off the rest of our stuff down here. Okay, which means we definitely want to get rid of the Maragon Halberd. Worth a lot of money. Some of the other jewelry that Wyll's carrying. We can get rid of the Idol of Shar here. And the Dark Justiciar Mask. I think that'll be about it. Yes. Okay, heavy crossbows, longbows. Okay.
Can't keep getting lost like that.
That's that then.
So let's see if this opened up. Okay, so yeah, it was still open from the last time when we completed that quest. So yeah, can't complete the quest about bringing Nere's head to Sovereign Spa.
Of course, it was Bibberway.
Oh well, is what it is. So we will head back to the Ancient Forge. We will remove the splint mold. We'll send it to camp. Get rid of all this extra carry weight. Okay. And now we'll get ready for the Grymforge. So, the Grymforge is down here. Now, a couple of things about this area.
This calls for careful footwork.
To use the Grymforge, you need to pick up adamantine. We picked up slag, but it wasn't useful. We need actual adamantine ore. And you can see a piece of it here. And there's another piece over on this side, which we have to go get. But in doing that, we're going to trigger a combat encounter. So what we want to do is kind of keep everybody up here. We're going to split the group.
Now what?
We're going to take Astarion down here and move him down onto this lower level. Okay, now, as soon as I get him to a certain point down here, we're going to have some enemies spawn. Okay, yeah, I'm no longer able to hide. And that's because there are enemies down here. Okay. So there are 4 Magma Mephits. I'm surprised, which means they are all going to get to attack me. But I rolled very well on initiative, so I get to roll first in the next turn. Okay. So now we are obviously going to get ourselves out of this situation with Astarion, and the first thing that we're going to do is disengage. Okay, so we're going to use one of our cunning actions to disengage. We're going to use the other one to dash. Disengage is going to allow us to move out of this area without triggering attacks of opportunity from them. Okay. And now we want to get him back to a certain location out of the way. We are going to take the opportunity to shoot an arrow of ice here. Okay. And we're going to continue moving him out of the way. Now, Mephits can fly. They have a lot of movement, so he's certainly not safe here. But now I can bring everybody else into this fight. And you can see the detection cones here. Okay, this is going to be interesting with his thunder jump. Okay, so that did put him into the fight. That thunder jump does have disadvantages here, but it is what it is. Now, even moving my characters up here on this extreme high ground does not keep them safe from these Mephits. The Mephits can fly all the way up here. Fly is like Misty Step. It allows you to move across a lot of vertical distances and that sort of stuff as well. So let's see how close he is to this. So he can cast a Cloud of Daggers down here on 3 of the Mephits. Okay. So alright.
What's next, I wonder?
So that was not unexpected, but it did it a turn earlier than I expected. Okay, so I need to get her down here in a place where I can cast Cure Wounds on Astarion.
Take Cure.
Okay. So that puts him back into the fight, but that's unavoidable at this point. Okay, so go ahead and continue on. Okay, so dash is good. Not going to be able to fight. Okay, so I need to kill all of the Mephits here in this turn. So 75% chance to hit here.
Let's get this over with.
Okay, there's one. And you can see they do AoE damage when they die. They have an explosion radius around them. So we're going to keep moving. Actually, we're not. We're just going to move him down here.
Can't give up.
Shadowheart. I think these are probably... This Mephit might not be.
Onward.
So, does she have a scroll of Guiding Bolt? Does... Because they're not high hit point enemies. And just when I say that, she rolls low enough to not kill that one. That's awesome. Okay, so I can cast and bring Astarion back up a little bit more. Okay, so the Mephits are dashing, which is good, because if they dash, they can't attack. And he went through the Cloud of Daggers. This one's going to dash right through the Cloud of Daggers. Good. Okay, so this one is inactive over here, so let's just go ahead and get rid of this one. Yeah, it's going to cause damage here, but that was expected. So we're going to dash. Going to hide. And we're going to bring him down here as far as we can get him. Want to get him in range of this Mephit next turn. Okay, alright, so he moved up, which is good. So... Right, so I didn't kill them all. So... Ah, interesting. Okay, so he did, I noticed it, he cast heat metal. So I'm going to take damage from holding the metal weapon. And it actually adds a cool little effect to it. To show it's heated up. So, that's pretty cool. So, let's just try and get this over with.
Got to concentrate.
Okay.
No one's stopped me yet. Pride of the
Okay,
guild.
so Wyll...
Sharp as ever. 2 steps at a time.
Bring him down and we can group everybody back up.
No, never mind.
Okay, you can search the Mephits, and they're going to have gems normally of some type on them is the most that you're ever going to see.
Time to press ahead.
Okay, we got a lot of malachite that we're picking up here, which is good. Agate as well. Now we can come across over here. And we can search in this area. Roll the bark skin, interesting. Color spray, I'm never going to use most of these. Flame blade is also interesting. Bark skin again. And I guess we can take the book. Just to sell. Holding Alt. There's a potion of fire resistance up here.
Don't mind if I do.
And the Sharon registry. Nothing serious in here. Again, but just talking about Ketheric Thorm being her a patron of Shar, that sort of stuff, and that a bunch of them are now dead. So, okay, so now we have Mithril Ore down here. This is kind of interesting. I'm going to move everybody back here. I'm going to split the group. Don't think you can... Oh, you can attack it from... I think that might have changed. Okay, because there's a huge explosion. Rocks fly everywhere. You don't want to be near that when it happens. But in the debris here, you can pick up Mithril Ore. Okay, and that is what you need for the adamantine forge. Okay. So now we're completely done over here on this side. So we can make our way to this other side over here. Now there's a way to cheese this, which I actually don't think I'm going to do. I think in my Ranger playthrough I cheesed it. But in this time I'll probably just play it how it's intended to be played. Okay. So move over here and jump everybody across. Alright. Now here is, again, some interesting stuff. You have these lava balloons, which are down here. You look at where you are and how you're trying to get around this area. You kind of have to watch out for those lava balloons because they cast a huge fire surface, but you can see you need to walk up to here and jump across this to get over to here. So the lava balloons can cause you a problem if you're not paying attention.
Lava. Better watch my footing around here.
Okay, so I'm going to put everybody over here. I'm going to put everybody in hiding, and I'm going to split the group. And I'm going to take Dorval this time. And I'm watching for the lava balloons. Another one there. And I want this fire surface to go away. Okay, so it's not going to give me much of an opportunity to get across here. But it does. Just have to have the timing right. Here we go. Okay. It's the same thing here. I can probably jump across to this location right now. Okay. And there you can see our main issue.
By the hells, a lava elemental. No wonder the lake's so volatile.
Okay. So, the lava elemental got a lot of hit points. It has magma disturbance, which is what's causing all of the lava bubbles to have happen. And whenever it's standing in magma, it's going to be regenerating hit points. Okay? So, what I'm going to do is let him, and he patrols around this whole area. Now that I've got him kind of activated, so to speak, I'm going to... I can't move into any of these areas up here, but I can move around the back here.
Time to press ahead.
And I'm going to kick this off. Right here.
What do I have to lose?
Okay. So that started the combat. So the elementals are implemented into the game as well. Is it? Yes. Elementals are certainly in tabletop. And elementals in tabletop are not a creatable type. Well, I take that back. They're not a craftable type of entity, meaning you don't combine things to create an elemental. You can cast spells to create elementals. Elementals are also residents of specific planes of existence in the tabletop D&D universe. But yeah, they're not. It's not like a craftable thing, so to speak. So now what I'm going to do is move back to my other characters here. You can see the lava elemental's way back around the side over here. There's nothing that I can do with that, but you can see that now, because the lava elemental's in turn-based combat, the lava bubbles are no longer taking place. Right? So it kind of puts them on pause, so to speak, which makes it much easier to cross this area and get yourself into a position to be able to deal damage on. So I'm gonna bring this whole group over here. Not gonna go that way. I'm gonna go around this way. Bring them right up to the edge. Jump them across. Okay, so there is a fire surface over here, but I think I can jump everybody right into this spot between them that's not on fire. And then move them up here with everybody else. So, just taking it one at a time. Everybody should be able to move across.
Faith protects me.
And last but not least is Wyll. Okay, and when Wyll gets here, we're going to bring his imp out. I don't know how much the imp is going to be of use at this particular time for him, but he also needs, after his long rest, he needs his mage armor. And we're going to bring out the imp again, as usual, because the imp can fly. The imp is going to go hiding as well as Wyll.
Where am I needed? Going on the fly.
Okay. So now we have everybody up here. Nobody else is in combat yet. So we're going to
stand in my way.
Move back with Jorval here in a second. But first we're going to brace. And I don't think piercing shot's going to work on him, but we might as well try. Yeah, he's immune to gaping wounds. Now I'm going to move him back around the corner here. Okay. Now we'll let the lava elemental move around. Right. And you see he's back up to full hit points again. Right. So one character attacking him isn't going to be doing much because he's going to be able to regenerate those hit points back almost every time. So it's not something that is really going to be very useful. So what I am going to do here is get everybody with potions of fire resistance. Okay. So he took his. So Astarion's going to take his, because these last until long rest.
Strength in silence.
Okay, Wyll. He doesn't have one in his inventory.
Can't afford any
Shadowheart doesn't have one in her inventory, so we will move them over. So we have one here that we can transfer to Shadowheart. Okay, so now Shadowheart should have one. Yep. And Wyll should have one as well. Right. Because things are going to get ugly here once we start this. We're kind of just luring him around the corner, so to speak. But things are about to get ugly.
Really?
So let's go ahead and put everybody in harm's way. And we will go from there. So we're going to move Dorval back up and get a ranged attack, and he missed.
Something smells tasty.
So we're going to move Astarion up.
Of surprise.
You can see the detection cone down here. Get him with a sneak attack. And no, we're going to stay with the sneak attack. Okay, that puts Astarion in combat.
Keeping quiet.
We're going to bring Wyll up.
Quiet as a moonbeam.
And I think we're just going to go with Eldritch Blast. Okay. That puts him in combat, and then Shadowheart.
My favorite. Off I go.
He's going to cast Guiding Bolt. Okay, that puts her in combat. The only thing not in combat now is the Imp, so we're going to fly the Imp down here. If we can. Doesn't look like we can. His path is interrupted, so maybe if I get him around this way. He shouldn't... I should be able to fly him down here. But I don't want to take that chance that it's going to just kill him. So let's see if I can move him up closer. Oh, I can move him here. Okay, good. I can probably fly down from here. I can. Okay, just get him right up. Alright, so everybody's in combat now. And we did a lot of damage to him. He's not going to be able to regenerate all of that damage. And that's what the intent is. You have to out-damage his magmatic regeneration. Okay, so we're used up, so we're going to end the turn. You see, he got 41 hit points back. Right? So he got back a lot. So the Imp is going first. Okay, got a couple of crits.
Let's spill some blood.
Alright, so here he's probably... I don't know if he can hide or not.
See me?
He was able to hide. Let's get off a sneak attack. Okay, got some big damage there. His turn is now going to end.
On the victor's path.
So for Wyll, we're going to use this magic missile here.
Tormentum.
Okay, so he's down to 34 hit points.
Nothing important is ever easy.
Let's go with Shadowheart here. Cast a level 2 Guiding Bolt. Okay, only hit for 13.
I can't even catch my breath.
So I'm not going to be able to kill him again this turn. Okay, but got him down more hit points. Okay, so he killed the imp, and he moved around the corner. Now that becomes a problem. So let's put Astarion into hiding. Get a sneak attack here. Okay, and now I'm going to have to move him out of the way.
Keep them guessing.
Okay.
Forever.
So Wyll, I don't know if he can see him or not. Yeah, he can't see him from there, so he's going to have to move out to here to cast his Eldritch Blast. Okay, got some big damage. We got to move him out of the way.
Well, so much for peace.
So, gonna move Jorval out here. Okay, and then move him back. And then Shadowheart. Hopefully we can get the kill with another Guiding Bolt. %85 chance to hit. Outstanding. Well done, guys.
Shouldn't have wished
And gals.
for more interesting times.
Okay. So that went about as well as could be expected. So we are going to actually keep that separated. We're going to move down here. Okay, and now I'm going to put him in hiding. And yes, he can move around here without walking in the lava. I want to search the lava elemental. And you just find some more gemstones to sell. Okay. And now I'm going to move everybody else out of the way. Because I've learned that there's a heck of a range on that thunder jump of his.
Does this count as adventuring?
Move him back here and jump him back up. You do that with him because he has the highest strength, so he's got the only chance of making that jump back up. Now that I don't need the path in anymore, I can bring him out of hide. And let's just walk over to the chest first. Okay, so it's not trapped, and we'll lockpick it. Okay, DC of 20. We've got a bonus of 10. 11 to 14. So, on the highest difficulty class chest in the game, we've got a much better, a little bit better than average chance of picking it on the first try. Perfect. Big roll. 30. Okay. And we have the sentient amulet. Alright, we're going to send that.
The amulet is heavy, but holds a subtle warmth, like it was left under the sun. Suddenly, the metal surges with heat. You feel great power and an overwhelming urge to laugh.
Can thou endure?
Okay. So, we have some options here. You can give in to the laughter, you can ask some questions, you can drop the amulet, or you have a wisdom saving throw because of the Barbarian class, which gives you advantage. So I'm gonna try and save my wisdom here using this one. Okay, it's a DC of 10. Can get an added bonus, and I've got advantage, which is just so powerful in both tabletop and in this game.
Sheer unbridled rage floods your veins, obliterating the urge to laugh.
Thou hast done well. For what is a laugh, if not one step toward madness? Thou art the one! Return me, take me home, and thou shalt glow with blessings. To mine granddaughter, Shira Clarwin, serves Ilmata she doth. She waits in Worm's Crossing, take me there, and thou shalt bathe in her golden gifts. Oh, thou shalt be blessed indeed. A ghost! I am sunlight on water, dew on grass. Sharons broke my body, but my spirit they could not. Well, not completely. Thou shalt return me home. It is written.
That thing's tainted. Better to leave it than bear a dead man's grudges.
Okay, so I do have some other options here that I can try and look at. AC of 10, but I do have guidance. Wow, nat 20. Nice.
Etched on its face is an image of the dawning sun.
Okay, I'm not going to get any bonuses because I'm not the person with any of this. It would be better for Wyll or somebody like that to have or be doing these checks. I'm getting 50-50 with a little bonus from guidance every time. But I'm rolling really, really well.
You recognize the symbol. It belongs to those sworn to Lathander, god of dawn and renewal. Whatever madness this spirit suffers was inflicted by Lathander's enemies, followers of Shah. And this madness may flow into you.
One last check here. Passed them all. We got really good rolls on that. Hope I'm not using up all my luck now.
Beneath the rampant joy, you sense the monk's fear and sincerity. He doesn't wish to harm you, but that doesn't mean he won't.
I shall walk with thee. I shall grant you my power.
You feel a chuckle coming on, but it soon fades.
Okay, so a very interesting encounter.
Looking ahead.
You look at the sentient amulet. Comes with the Shatter spell, which is a level 2 evocation spell. It's an incredibly useful spell. It does a lot of damage. You have a Constitution saving throw to take half damage, but anything that's made of inorganic material, stone, metal, the animated armors, that sort of stuff, will have disadvantage on their saving throw. And we've already learned how important advantage and disadvantage are in this game. So it's an incredibly useful spell to have. It also allows you to speak to the monk at any time that you want. So it's a rather interesting piece of equipment. So right now, the magic missile spell does quite a bit of damage compared to what shatter might do, and it's a guaranteed amount of damage. But putting it on, you know, Shadowheart or somebody like that, to allow them to have access to the shatter spell can be very, very useful. So I think for now we're just going to plop it onto Shadowheart just to store it there, but we'll kind of play it by ear and see, you know, how we want to deal with it, you know, going forward.
How much farther can I go?
So, for here, we need to make our way back. That means jumping over here. And then jumping over here. And great, somebody, Astarion, stepped in the lava. Perfect. Love this game's pathing. Yeah, just like that. That's just outstanding.
Don't bleed out on me.
Careful, I might.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to get up. Just going to have to let him die because of the game's stupid pathing. Is Barb a tank or damage dealer in this game? It's interesting. It's a very interesting question because in this game as well as in tabletop, the Barbarian is normally thought of as the biggest damage dealer in the game. They have the highest single target burst damage potential of most other classes in the game. And that's because, especially at level 5, when you gain an extra attack, you can make a reckless attack with your action, you can make another reckless attack with your second action, and you can use a frenzied strike on your bonus action. So single target burst damage, the Barbarian is right up there at the top for damage dealing. However, Barbarians also have skills that allow them to utilize their hit point pools in very, very interesting ways. When you get below 50% hit points, you get things like armor class increases and damage bonus increases. So you do have a much bigger hit point pool, just because of the Constitution score that I have on Barbarians, like fighters, similar with high hit point pools. But losing hit points gives you bonuses to your attacks. So that's why a lot of Barbarian characters choose to wear clothing or wear no armor, because you get unarmored defense armor class bonuses, and then as you lose more hit points, your damage goes up. So you kind of want to play the game in combat, you know, not at full health all the time. So it's a very interesting question, and it is definitely a huge damage dealer, but you also want to play this as a tank to absorb some damage to increase your attack bonuses. So, all right, Rymar, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Hopefully it was less frustrating than last time, even though I've had a couple of people die because of the game being stupid. But thanks for joining. I certainly appreciate your time here on the stream. So, hope that answers your question, Lugat. If it doesn't, let me know. Okay, so I'm going to make my way back out here. Jump myself back across. Okay, and looks like everybody teleported over correctly that time. Okay, so looking around down here, I just want to make sure that we have cleared everything out up here. Okay. So, it looks like we have, for the most part. There's another mithril ore that you can pick up. However, I'm not going to explore crafting twice in the game anymore. It can be extraordinarily buggy, this encounter here. So I'm not going to press it very much. What I'm going to do is just transport myself back up here. Yeah, no worries, Lugat. If you have any other questions, let me know. Like I say, this is based around 5th edition D&D tabletop, so I have some experience, not as much as, you know, a lot of other people, but yeah, I've certainly got a lot of experience on this playthrough that I've had here, so it certainly worked out. So what we're going to do before we head back and bring Astarion back to life, as you can see over here is the other mithril vein. And I said I wasn't going to do this, but looking at the time, I'm not going to be able to play the adamantine forge encounter today. So I thought today was going to be our last episode, but it's not. Looks like I will start off the next live stream with that encounter. So I don't have to jump across this. I can just walk across it. And from here, I'm going to see if I can shoot it. Okay, stay away from the explosion, and you can see there's another mithril ore over here. So you can pick it up. Now, the reason I said let's see if anybody perceives the mound. They did. The reason that I said I wasn't going to pick it up is because in the game in early access, yes, it is possible to craft 2 adamantine items. It's just this encounter is so incredibly buggy that sometimes it can be hard to get it to work. So having both mithril ores isn't going to matter if the encounter bugs out to the point where you're not able to use the second one at all. So it's something is definitely on the table for the full version of the game, but in early access, this encounter is just so incredibly buggy. So what I am going to do to kind of end the stream off here is I'm going to head back to the Grymforge. I'm going to head up top up here and sell off some items. And then I'm going to take a long rest, get Astarion back, and we'll kind of go down and get prepped for the Grymforge fight. Oh, yeah, we're not going to be able to sell anything here. I forgot. The Dwergar have cleared out. They are now gone. So we're going to head back to the Myconid colony.
So many minds connected.
And sell it.
What do they accomplish? Welcome back. Have you made any? I do enjoy a good bargain. If anything in my private collection is to your liking.
Okay, so we do have 2 mithril ore. We can go ahead. Oh, his gold didn't respawn.
Very well. I have mushrooms to catalog.
So we will head back down here. Somebody who has a lot of gold. And sell the rest down here.
We'll be clearing out soon enough. No point in lingering now I've got the noble stock.
Okay, so we'll sell off books. We can't. We might as well get rid of the spider egg. So we've been carrying it around too long, and we're not going to use it. Okay. So that gets me where I need where I need to be.
Have I got
So now what we're going to do is head back to the Ancient Forge. And we're going to take a long rest out here and resurrect Astarion simply because of the horribly stupid pathing in this game. Sometimes, it's all the time frustrating, but sometimes you should just take more time, split your group, and navigate across lava and things like that in a more controlled manner, one at a time, so you can save yourself from having stuff like that happen. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to spend all of that time doing that. It should just be there. Oh, got some broken icons here. Yeah, and I certainly agree with you, Lugat. I think that Larian knows better, I guess, is the best way to put it. So many people have been waiting for this game to come out that I would seriously doubt that they are going to take extreme liberties with the game, I guess is how I would put it. Larian knows that if they mess this up, it's a huge problem, and I don't think that, from everything that I've seen, I don't expect there to be issues with keeping to the spirit of the game. First, from the basic premise that Wizards of the Coast controls the IP here. They control Dungeons and Dragons and how this game utilizes that, so they're going to have a big input in it and not let it stray too far. But also, I don't know if you saw the trailer for the full release of the game that Larian released. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't. But a couple of very important characters from Baldur's Gate 2, which took place a long time ago in this timeline. These are not similar times. We're 100 years plus in the future from when Baldur's Gate 2 took place. The overall lore here in the game, but two characters from Baldur's Gate 2 are going to be making their appearance in Baldur's Gate 3 Full Access. The trailer was an amazing thing to watch for those of us who are familiar with BG2. So yeah, seeing that, I think that they're also paying special attention to being faithful to the old games and characters and lore and all of that sort of stuff that goes along with it. You couldn't watch that trailer and think any other way. So I'm expecting it to be good, but I've seen developers screw up games in the past, so we'll kind of see how it goes. But I have a lot of hope in it. Okay, so now that we've got everybody back, we will get Wyll's mage armor back. We will get his imp back. We will look at our barbarian and swap out his amulets so that he can cast protection from evil and good. Then we will swap that back to the amulet of the... And we are also going to split these potions again. We're going to make sure that everybody has one. So we have one on Jorval. Don't have one on Astarion. We have one on Shadowheart. And we have one on... So somebody's going to end up being short. I think we're going to have Shadowheart and not have hers. Make sure that's all right. Got force resistance and is fire resistance. Okay. There. Yes, I think that's going to work. Okay. Oh, let's take a look at one other thing. We got potion of speed, potion of speed, potion of speed, and potion of speed. Good. Oh, sorry. One last thing. Healing potions. 4 greater, 3 greater, 3 greater, 2 greater. So we'll take this 4. We'll split off 1. Move it to here. Everybody has 3 greater healing. There's 12, 7, 7, 6. So we will split off 4. We will split 2. We'll split 1, 1. Put 1 there. Put 1 there. Put 2 there. Everybody's got 8 light healing potions and 3 greater healing potions, and that's about as good as I think we can expect. Okay, so we will go prep ourselves for the last encounter, which we will start off next stream with. And again, if you have any opinions on which character I should play next, let me know, because we will probably be ending the live stream with this encounter, which isn't going to take the full live stream. And then we will move into possibly character creation and that sort of stuff on what people's input has been on the next character we're going to play. We probably won't start another playthrough until episode 1 of the next series, but we'll see. So the first thing here is the mold chamber. You can interact with it, and you can insert an item here. So if I open up my inventory, I have 2 molds. I have a shield mold and a scale mail mold. I'm going to just craft the shield mold first. Okay, so I'm going to insert that in here.
I just need the raw materials.
Okay, successfully inserted. And now I can look at the crucible. Okay, and again I have another insert item here. So I'm going to split the mithril ore. Put 1 in here and insert it. Successfully inserted. And now you have a lever here. This is an ejection lever. It basically opens this up and lets you swap out the mold. Or if you didn't want to put that in there, or you want to change what you want to do, it allows you to change it out. There. So it's also what you're going to do if you want to try and attempt to craft again. Okay, so the next thing is the forge lever. The forge lever drops the forge hammer onto the crucible. The forge hammer's up here, drops it down, hammers it, the mithril, into the mold that you've got, and creates the item that you can then take out of the crucible. Okay, so that drops the hammer, basically. And now you look around here and you go, well, wait a minute, I need to get lava into this place. And there's no way to get lava, but you look down here, there's a button here that says platform control. And you look over here and there's a lava valve. So you now need to get yourself down here. The only way to do that, hit the forge lever. Okay, and that drops the forge down to this lower level. Okay? Now you can hit the button, and it will take you back up. That's what it does, it just moves this up and down. But now that we're down here, we want to craft this, and we know that we need lava to do it. Okay? But you're going to get a surprise, obviously, when that happens. And we want to position our characters in some very specific ways here.
Let's try this way.
Okay, so first I want to take Shadowheart and move her into this very corner and put her in hiding.
Good.
Okay. Then with Dorval, what I want to do is kind of position him
One day I'll catch a break.
right here. Okay. I don't want him down here in this area or in any of these areas. You want him on these curved areas, the circular area or this curved area here, but not down on the lower level, so to speak. And you want him in a line from there straight through to here to your character. And there are a couple of reasons for that.
The day brings.
I'm going to take Astarion and put him here, again up on the top level. Now for Wyll, Wyll's going to have a very important use here in this. But for now, I just want to hide him so that then I can take his imp and I can split him. Actually, I want Wyll to be on this side. Okay, and I want him hidden here. And now his imp I want to bring over here. And with Wyll hidden, I can separate him and his imp from each other. Okay. I'm going to bring him right to there. Okay. Now this is kind of the setup that I'm going to use for this fight. And you'll kind of hear some more explanations on why we're setting things up this way. In preparation for the Grymforge. So if you haven't seen this before, basically we've got a big fight on our hands here that's going to take place, and we want to hope that it doesn't glitch out while we're trying to, or while we finish up the fight. There's a better than average chance it's going to. We got lucky on our Ranger gameplay live stream in that we got a playthrough where it didn't glitch and we were able to craft both items and still have the forge stay active. But what we'll do is we'll save throughout it. If it glitches off stream, I'm going to play this encounter into a live stream or into a save point where it's not glitched. So if it does glitch, then we can at least skip ahead to a point where it's not and continue on. But this kind of brings us to an end on this live stream, I think. So, again, I'd like to thank everyone for joining me today. I appreciate all of the comments and the conversations we're able to have, because without your support, none of this would be possible. This is Commander Jorval saying until next time, fare thee well.